Einen wunderschönen Willkommen zu einem weiteren Ründchen am Abend. Ist ja fast jeden Abend. Wir wollen heute wieder was anspielen. Und zwar wirklich was anspielen, weil es noch im Early Access ist und gerade frisch raus ist. Und zwar, ich starte es mal einfach. Wir spielen an Not for Broadcast. Weil ich gerade so auf so einer Welle bin, macht es gerade auch wirklich Sinn, dieses Spiel einfach mal angetestet zu werden. Ich hoffe, dass... Oh, jetzt, es geht los. Genau. Ich drück mal hier, ne? Diese Early Access Version umfasst nur die ersten 3 Level, okay? Das fertige Spiel enthält viele verzweigte Handlungsstränge für stundenlanges Spielen und wird wahrscheinlich deine ganze Festplatte füllen. In der Entwicklungsphase wird es bei Not for Broadcast Änderungen und Updates für Grafiken, Videomaterial, Musik, Benutzeroberfläche und Spielmechanik geben, kurz gesagt für alles. Wenn du Feedback für uns hast, würden wir uns sehr gerne hören, freuen, wie auch immer, gerade verwechselt. Wir möchten eure Meinung bei der Gestaltung des Spiels mit einbeziehen. Bitte kontaktiere uns über die Steam-Foren, falls du auf seltsame Bugs stößt oder interessante Anregungen hast, vorzugsweise auf das Spiel bezogen. Wir nehmen auch Schmiergeld an. Und schließlich noch ein herzliches Dankeschön, dass du Not for Broadcast gekauft hast, außer du verwendest eine Raubkopie. In diesem Fall hoffen wir, dass es dir so gut gefällt, dass du es doch noch kaufst. Wir können das Spiel nicht ohne Leute fertigstellen, die dafür bezahlen, und unser armer Programmierer sieht langsam ganz schön hungrig aus. Okay, ich hab's gekauft. Ich hätte jetzt nicht gleich einen Rabatt gejagt auf Steam, aber nun gut, das ist halt so eine Sache. Und ich klicke mal, kann ich das? Ja, ich kann. Ich klicke mal kurz auf die Shop-Seite, um das im Allgemeinen zu erklären, ne, was das ist. Und zwar, hier, Videoplayer weg. Komm schon, so schwierig ist das nicht. Wähle die Einstellung, Spiel die Werbung ein und zensiere Kraftausdrücke, aber denk immer dran, dass die Art, wie du diese Leute zeigst, deren Leben verändern wird. Keine Sorge, bezahlt wirst du auf jeden Fall. Wir befinden uns in einer alternativen Version der 90er, 80er Jahre, in der die Nation auf eine Dystopie zusteuert. Du bist Teil des Teams der National Nightly News, das die aktuellsten politischen Skandale und den Aufstieg der radikalen Regierung dokumentiert, oder welcher Promi aus irgendeinem Grund ein Buch darüber verfasst hat. Eigentlich solltest du nur im Studio sauber machen, doch dank einer bizarren Wendung des Schicksals ist es plötzlich dir überlassen, was gesendet wird und was nicht. Not for Broadcast ist eine immersive, handlungsgetriebene Propagandasimulation, in der du die Richtung vorgibst, koordiniere 4 Kamerafeeds, entscheide über Schlagzeilen, zensiere unangemessene Ausdrücke und das alles unter dem Druck einer Live-Sendung. Wirst du die Nachrichten zensieren und dafür belohnt werden, oder wirst du die Wahrheit an die Öffentlichkeit bringen und mit den Konsequenzen leben? Not for Broadcast startet in Early Access, das haben wir gerade schon gelesen, mehr oder weniger. Ich würde sagen, wir starten, warte mal, ich muss mal kurz gucken, ist der Ton? Der Ton ist in Ordnung, denke ich mal. So, noch richtig ordentlich hinsetzen, ne? Aufrecht vor allem. Grafik passt, denke ich mal, hoffentlich, ich weiß es nicht. Das habe ich schon mal eingespielt hier so. Ach komm, neues Spiel. Spielnamen. Oder ist das mein Name? Warte mal, dann nehme ich mal meinen Namen. So. Ja. Okay, die von der gesendeten Werbung beeinflussen den Wer. Aha. Die Wahl. Ja. Ja. Irgendwo bimmelt's. Nach rechts. Oh. Oh.
Hi, David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're going to have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry, it's not hard, and I'm going to stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens.
Soll ich wirklich nach vorne gucken? Was ist das hier? Das ist ja cool. Und hier ein Walkman. Ein Tony, nicht ein Sony, ne? Die November-Ausgabe. Election Day. Okay, ich guck mal nach vorne.
Look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience.
Ja.
You want to keep the viewers going up and not down.
Okay.
Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the 4 small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio.
Okay.
And you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again.
Soll ich das jetzt wirklich machen? Da läuft doch noch ein Film hier oben. Na, okay.
You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us.
Ja,
Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk.
Ach,
You
du
can
Gott.
see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again.
Ich habe keine Ahnung. Ich nehme hier irgendwas. Okay. Ich guck nach vorne. Oder muss ich noch irgendwas machen? Hab ich. Ach so. Ich hab das nicht Okay, jetzt aber.
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Yeah, thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
Was soll ich jetzt machen?
Everybody. It's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist.
Going 5, 4.
But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay, we're all good. Next is going to be to throw to the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Was soll ich machen?
Fans everywhere celebrate as popular
Was sollte ich
footballer
machen?
Johnny Hansleaves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar.
Ich habe keine
Megan
Ahnung.
will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Vanderklatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of
Was so?
course, we'll be going live to
so.
Advanced Headquarters. We'll be going live to Advanced Headquarters party to hear what the news of this fledgling party.
Right, button 2 in 3,
That's
2,
coming up on tonight.
1. Yeah, lovely, mate.
Okay. Ja, ich hab's
Next
verstanden.
thing is to throw back to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes.
Okay.
Here it comes. Switch to screen 1. Now, lovely, mate.
Wow.
The votes are in, and it's a decisive win. The votes are in, and it's a decisive
Listen,
win.
mate, we often get a bit of interference around this time of night, so keep your eye on the machine on the bottom
God.
right. You can move that white dot up and down, avoiding the interference using the yellow knob or your scroll wheel.
Ach, hör mir auf, ey.
Critics have accused him of a severe lack of deliberate policy.
Okay. Ich muss das auch noch alles steuern?
The opposition parties have all conspired to but have yet to appear.
Ach, hör mal auf.
Right, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
Okay. Ich muss jetzt hier irgendwo draufdrücken.
We're going live to Advantage Q.
In 3, 2, 1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody.
Welcome to Crazy Deal.
Alter.
Sofa and chair deal. It's a steal. A crazy deal. We don't care if
Was?
you've been naughty or nice. We
Wer
got
kriegt
blue
alles gar nicht
sofas,
mit?
red
Was
sofas,
wird alles
brown
miteinander
sofas,
hier?
pink cushions. You've got a grey sofa. We've got a grey sofa in grey, a brown, a pink, a yellow, a purple. Deals, deals.
Was?
They're unreal.
Wicked. We made it to the first ad break. He's doing great, mate.
Okay.
This is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multi-cam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing
Oh
the
Gott.
2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long, 10
Okay.
seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough.
Es
Then
ist
the
sehr viel
audience will see who's
Input.
doing the
Es ist sehr
talking,
viel.
yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programmes on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
Crazy Neil's got crazy deals.
Was läuft denn da denn ab hier?
From the break.
Do you a toy? We
Quiet
can do you a
in the
toilet
studio.
next to a chair. We can do you a chair.
Wenn ich das jetzt live schalte, dann bin ich gearscht, oder?
Do you
10
come on
seconds,
down?
everybody.
You wiggle your ass. We got it. You want it. You want it. We got it. You want it. You pay us. You want it. We got it. You want it. You want it. We got it. You pay us.
Okay.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Shock election winners. Later we'll be hearing from shock election.
Get ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
Ja,
Is
ich
him the
hab's.
star
Ich hab's.
Megan Wolf? Is him the star Megan?
Thank you,
Oh,
Jeremy.
oh, oh,
Megan
oh.
Wolf, Thank you, Jeremy. And today I'm culture correspondent. And today I have Shakespeare
Right, go to Blunderclatch on screen 3 when she says his name.
by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. By none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
I do hope you believe me when I tell you.
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, haven't you here with us?
Screen 2 now, screen 2.
Ja doch, ich bin da schon
Just
bei.
try and stay on whoever's talking.
Finished filming your latest
The
movie,
medicated,
which is called The
yeah.
Medicated.
The
Wow, what was
medicated.
that like?
Yes. Well,
Wow, what
as
was
I
that
said
like?
to Peter, well, as I said to Peter, the Jensen, the director.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction. Lovely. Now back to Thunder Twat.
Wonderful chap. Really on several movies, all terribly. Worked with him on several
I said to
movies,
Peter,
all terribly successful.
What a
I said to
wild
Peter,
ride this has been. What a wild ride this has been.
And do you know what, Megan?
That is fantastic.
Oh God.
That is Am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is
Absolutely
quite
right.
an academic?
A scientist.
Absolutely
Was
right.
that a challenge?
A scientist.
Was that a
Exactly who you're
challenge at
playing.
all?
What exactly are you
But seriously, yes, you're right. But seriously, yes, you're right.
From my last
Das ist genial,
departure
Patrick.
from my last
Played
starring
Sergeant
role.
Brock
I
Rockman
played
in
Sergeant
Bullet Man.
Brock
Rockman in
Remember
Bullet
that was
Man.
a true story. You'll remember that that was a true story. One soldier's fight for a love, of course, for free. A love, of course. I think it's grossed over on who's captain.
It's a role that sleeves the 2 best actors. A role that sleeves, if I remember best actor awards,
So
if I remember correctly.
But I really
So
am not
sweet
in
to
it
mention
for
it.
the
But I
awards.
really
am not in it
Those
for the
three
awards.
little statues do take
Those
pride of place
three
on my
little
memory.
statues do take
With
pride
all
of
the
place on my
others,
memory.
I'm sure.
Oh mein Gott.
With all the others, I'm sure.
Ich weiß gar nicht, ob das alles mitkriege, wenn ich jetzt zensieren soll, ne?
What is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question, Megan. And not easy to answer. Question, Megan. And not easy to
Like
answer.
you,
I'm afraid.
cut
I'm
me,
afraid. And I will
cut
bleed.
me.
And I will bleed. That's how it feels.
Often,
Doesn't it? That's how it
Doesn't
feels.
it?
Doesn't it?
Bleeding,
Doesn't it?
Das geht noch 3 Minuten.
suffering,
For
giving,
one's audience.
suffering.
For one's audience. I suppose in the end I do it for the difference.
I suppose in the end I do it for
I
the
do it for the
difference it
people
makes.
that I inspire.
I do it for the people
That I inspire. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring
And
about in the
today, of course, and we're
Today,
in for
of
some
course,
real change. It
we're
looks
in
like
for
in
some
the coming
real
few
change.
months. It looks like in
What
the
do you
coming
make
few
of
months.
this historic
What
election
do you
result?
make of this historic election result?
Well, now you're asking. Historical election now
result.
you're asking.
Indeed,
Historical
historic
election
is the
result.
word.
Indeed, historic is the
difficult.
word.
Well, very difficult.
Difficult, isn't it?
Very difficult.
I've always been quite clear that when
I've
it
always
comes
been
to
quite
Dadurch, dass das
clear
Ding
that
hier
when it
drüben
comes to
läuft, ja,
politics,
und mit,
one should
strive.
always
Oh, das ist total
strive
verwirrend.
not fuck things up.
Shit, he's...
Was?
Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Ich hab...
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
I believe you brought in a clip from the
Right,
Meadowlands.
they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character,
Dr.
Okay.
Lodge Hemlock. My character, Dr. Lodge Hemlock,
could affect
is faced with the
humanity's
decision
very
that could affect humanity's very
Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff.
Was ist mit ihm jetzt los hier?
Watch out for that interference, mate.
Oh,
I don't understand it. Doctor. I don't understand it.
Oh, looks like Blunderclatch is losing it in the studio.
ist der gleiche Schauspieler, ja?
He's saying, but don't switch to it now. You can go to the archive when the broadcast's done. We keep everything.
know that? You think I don't know that?
Oh, das ist gemein hier.
Nolans mustn't. Nolans mustn't.
Dr. Lance. Dr. Flanagan. Miss Flanagan.
Okay.
For you, baby. Did it for you, baby.
Dr. Hemlock. Dr. Hemlock.
Aber wir stehen gut da.
Dr. Hemlock.
Drowning land, she said. Drowning land, she said.
Dieses dämliche Echo, ja, von den beiden bei den Screens, ja, weil der eine läuft ja nachrangig. Okay. Zum Glück müssen wir hier nicht noch mehr machen parallel. Vorsichtig. Okay. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear
Oh
words.
Gott.
As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen here is about 2 seconds behind the master screen.
Ja, habe ich mitgekriegt.
When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button or the space bar on your keyboard for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you've got to do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now.
Was? Ach so.
As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro.
Okay.
Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down.
And with more than 2 areas of outstanding natural interest, isn't it time your family...
Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
Running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4,
Yeah.
3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to advance headquarters. I'm told we can now where the 2 leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Cut to the outside broadcast.
Go for it, Pat.
Get ready to bleep.
Thank you all for coming, and, well, thank you all where do I start? Well, what a day.
They said we couldn't do it.
They certainly
They used every dirty, low-down, lying southern bastard trick I had against you. I had against you.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Huh?
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I'm at me. Coarser than a granny's fanny. Coarser than...
Memorably put. But to be honest, who can blame Peter for saying
Ich habe keine Ahnung.
Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change.
Genau, ein Team.
But today is day 1 of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation,
Ich krieg das nicht hin.
our executive powers to pass the Asset and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have reduced
Was ist, wenn ich jetzt dahin schalte?
Been on that show a bit long.
You know this. Probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated community.
Tomorrow we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide.
Oh Gott.
We revoked your passports. You want them back. You wanna leave like you threatened before the
Ja doch, ja doch. Die 10 Sekunden, ich bin abgelenkt.
Fine. You're gonna pay first. You're gonna pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into warring individuals, to properly fund health and education, to raise the living standards of us all.
Es ist einfach zu viel Input, was hier läuft.
Billions! But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats...
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs.
Okay, okay, das hat jetzt richtig geklappt. Super.
So they've got time to get even fucking rich.
Advance have this to say to you. Advance have this to say to you. We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it. In the hands of the people who created it.
Today.
Okay.
It ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again. We'll start making just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from and our apologies for the fruity language. And our apologies for the fruity language bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first
Ich glaube, jetzt muss ich hier wieder irgendwas machen.
I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful Jeremy Donaldson.
Not really got the hang of it, have you? I suggest you get some practice in, have another go, that sort of thing. I wish I could help you more, but I'm out of here. This country's fucked, mate. See ya.
Wie, jetzt haut er ab?
Some weird fever dream, and I'm dying now.
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Not going for a drink?
No, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
Oh Gott. Ey, das ist anstrengend ohne Ende. Segmentbewertung C. Ist das gut oder schlecht? Okay, wir probieren mal noch eins, ja? Okay. Anmerkung. Mittelmäßige Zensur, ein paar Störsignale. Dein Schnitt war okay. Verdiente Mittel 200. Gesamtmittel 200. Übertragung abgeschlossen. Wir haben eine doch... Crazy Neil. Achso, das sind die, die wir eingespielt haben. Hier, guck mal, das ist super. Eintöniger Schnitt. Teilweise Zensur, teilweise eintöniger Schnitt. Perfekte Zensur. Aber naja, immerhin. Können wir, warte mal, wir können uns das hier... 0 Sekunden. Okay, da war nichts mit zensiert. Okay, gibt es komplett Statistik. 4,2 von 5,3 Sekunden des Audiomaterials erfolgreich zensiert. 9,5 Sekunden langweiliger Schnitt. Das ist so wie ein Haarschnitt, ein langweiliger, ne? Na nun, das war, glaube ich, erstes...
Most people come into the archive room when they're done with a broadcast. That way you can see what you did and how it looked to the public. As you can see, there's 3 sections to the archive. Broadcasts, that's what you've put out. Rushes, which is all the stuff that was on all the screens. And adverts, which is any advert that you've chosen to show. So let's have a look at the broadcasts.
Okay, wir können uns die Sendung und die Tageskurve... Ah, ist ja super.
Okay, on the left you can see all the broadcasts that you've done. You can also get to hear from the main menu if you don't actually want to do a broadcast, you just want to see some of your past work. Select any of those and click load tape. Why not watch what you just did?
We'll be
When
going
you're done,
live to
hit
tonight's
back.
National Nightly News. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on tonight on Channel 1. At 7 o'clock, it's the semi-final of the quotation game, and it's a nail-biting quiz tonight as a team of nuclear physicists take on 4 old ladies from East Grinching. That's followed at 8 p.m. by award-winning documentary series The Shape of Now, which tonight looks at the history of the knee-length sock and its importance during the Great Blackouts of 1871. Not one to miss. At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie The Freedom of Being Colin, taking us all the way up to 11:15, where, as usual, Dr. Adrian Atkinson Blimey will be grilling his guests in Incisors, and tonight sees a return for leading economist Katie Brightman. Finally, at midnight, it's the National Weather Report, before we say good night until tomorrow. But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson for the National Nightly News.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. Moving on up, the election win that experts said just couldn't happen. Hopeful or hostile? Controversy as global mega corporation Remington's Fist buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent.
Aber ein seltsamer Ups.
Fans everywhere celebrate as popular
Okay,
football-
ich verstehe.
Right, click on rushes and let's have a look at those. Okay, these 4 screens, they're exactly the same as the 4 screens that feed you the studio signal when you're doing the actual news. Of course, the difference here is you can mute any screen you like or any combination of screens and you can have a listen to what was going on behind the scenes. Just select any segment that's any
man
bit
kann...
between ad breaks over on the left and hit play. When you're done checking out the backstage secrets, hit back.
Man kann sich...
These aren't my cards. Please tell me these aren't my cards.
No, they're the right ones, apparently.
But this gives me nothing, Jenny. They must see that.
I know. I think they think you won't have anything to say.
Oh, for God's sake, come on. It's a huge day. It's not an...
Absolute bonehead. I don't care, Rob. I'm not doing it. I agreed to do one beastly interview a day. I made that completely clear when we started. Check my contract.
Hi, I'm Megan.
Oh, piss up.
Oh, was wird sogar leiser.
On thin bloody ice,
Oh,
Rob.
okay.
Whole wheat, man. Whole wheat.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Das ist so krass.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing from shock election
Vor allem,
winners
das ist
Advance.
eine komplette
But first our very own
komplette
culture
Take,
reporter Megan Wolf is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare to the Shotbot films. I'm very excited to be joined today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among the greatest joys of my life.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Bless you.
So you've just finished
Das ist so
filming your
genial.
latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Wrap, that's Peter Jensen, the director. Do you know him? He's a wonderful chap, he really is. I've worked with him on several movies.
Ach, deswegen ist er auch
I
in
said
dem
to
Film
Peter,
danach. Ah, okay.
what a wild ride this has been. And do you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right.
Man sieht hier ab und zu die Hand rüber
Was that
gucken,
a
ne?
challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that was the true story.
Man hatte mich gar nicht
One
die
soldier's
Zeit,
fight
sich
for a love that
das alles
surpasses all.
anzuhören, ja?
A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
Oh, that is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire. The little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed, historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Yes, well...
Sorry, I said fuck.
No.
I'm really... apologies.
Well,
Sorry.
Lawrence, I believe you brought in a clip from The Medicated, which opens next week around the country. Lawrence, do tell us what's going on here.
I'd be delighted. This is a really pivotal scene where my character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
And we're out.
Rob, get the car. We're out of here.
Mr. Blunderclatch.
I'm shutting this down. What kind of operation are you people running?
Mr. Blunderclatch, I understand you're upset, but we can...
Upset? You don't know the half of it. Rob! I'll be at the Dorset. Send up a bottle of scotch and a whole ham. It's in my contract.
I'm sorry. I just had to. I had to. Oh, go on then. Say it.
What?
I told you so.
Your hair looked nice.
See, this is why you're single.
Okay.
Your Hemlock.
We're going to change the world, do you remember? If only I listened to you.
Dr. Hemlock.
You told me, but I didn't listen.
Doctor.
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
You need to see this.
No, it's all too late.
Look at this!
Got it! The virus. The sterility. This formula. This is the key.
We could stop it all.
Yes, we could stop it all.
We have to ask ourselves
If we should.
Ach, das ist das hier. Okay. Es ist Werbung. Ah, ich kann mir echt die... Schade, dass man die spulen kann. Das ist ja richtig cool.
Hi, I'm world-class sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves, and I'm not fat, but you are. Don't worry, ladies. Now you can have me, Johnny Hamsleeve, right there in your lounge.
Johnny!
Oh, Johnny.
Match day, happy day. Me and the lads are playing away.
I'll take you through a proper match day workout with my two cracking assistants. Who knows, within a few weeks, you could be as fit as them.
What a day, in the coach cruising down the motorway. Match day, Saturday, finished with the handshakes and we're ready to play.
Did you know that fat people are less likely to laugh, marry or live past the age of 26? These potentially true statistics are all terrifying reasons why you should pop a bit of Johnny in your VHS slot.
Getting me a penalty. In the goal. You gotta get it in the goal. Kick the...
Every exercise is recommended by sports professionals and is 72% likely to get rid of those tricky tummies and cruel cellulite.
Match time. Halfway line. Waiting for the whistle so
Get match fit!
With Johnny Hamsleeve.
Das ist gut. Wenn ich jetzt fortsetzen sage, kommt das nächste Level, ja? Tag 1, Tag 2, Tag 3, ein unerwartetes Formular. Als du nach Hause kommst, liegt Post auf der Türmatte, das meiste davon nur der übliche Müll, aber ein Umschlag sticht dir ins Auge. Das Team möchte dich kennenlernen. Deine Neugier ist geweckt und du öffnest ihn. Es ist ein Formular der neuen Advance-Regierung mit der Bitte um Informationen über alle Bürger. Die erste Seite wurde bereits ausgefüllt. Name Alex Winston, Partnerin Sam Winston. Kinder Charles Winston, Susie Winston. Tja, denkst du, das Wesentliche stimmt schon mal. Die restlichen Fragen musst du selbst beantworten. Sie scheinen alle verpflichtend zu sein. Frage 1. Am ersten Tag in einem neuen Job würdest du freundlich auftreten und dich mit deinen neuen Kollegen bekannt machen, okay? Produktiv sein und dich sofort in die Arbeit stürzen, es geht langsam angehen und dich erstmal mit dem neuen Arbeitsplatz vertraut machen, mit Freunden in Erinnerung über vergangene Jobs schwelgen. Sein, na klar. Ein Kollege aus einer anderen Abteilung gesteht, dir vertrauliche Informationen mit nach Hause genommen zu haben. Jetzt fehlt eine eher unwichtige Akte. Du würdest deinen Kollegen helfen, den Regelverstoß zu vertuschen, deinen Kollegen überreden, es zu melden, deinen Kollegen versprechen, es niemand zu verraten, den Regelverstoß sofort an deinen unmittelbaren Vorgesetzten melden. Ach, ich überrede ihn zu melden. Wir sind ja kein Denunzianten, ne? Frage 3. Heute wurde eine gesamte Abteilung mit einer durchgehend unzureichenden Leistung gefeuert. Dein Boss hat neue Ziele festgelegt, die deutlich höher sind als die alten. Du würdest deinen Arbeitsplatz um die gleiche Zeit wie immer verlassen. Länger bleiben, um die erste Frist auf jeden Fall einzuhalten. Früher gehen, um dich im Pub mit deinen Kollegen um die Veränderungen zu unterhalten. Oder früher gehen, um Zeit mit deiner Familie zu verbringen. Zur gleichen Zeit. Du und deine Familie wurde zur alljährlichen Firmengrillparty eingeladen. Du freust dich auf einen netten Tag mit Freunden und Familie, musst dir an diesem Tag leider dringend die Haare waschen, gehst hin, falls es sich ergibt, wärst auch nicht traurig, es zu verpassen, hast schon fleißig mit deinen Kollegen geübt, um den diesjährigen Talentwettbewerb zu gewinnen. Ach hier, komm, ein bisschen moderat. Hinter dir liegt eine lange, erfolgreiche Karriere. Nun sollst du vor dem Eintritt in den Ruhestand eine Abschiedsrede halten. Du listest all deine Erfolge und schöne Erinnerungen an dein Arbeitsleben auf, lieferst eine ehrliche Aufstellung der Vor- und Nachteile des Unternehmens, konzentrierst dich auf die Probleme und Herausforderungen, mit denen du zu kämpfen hattest und gehst gar nicht erst hin. Auch hier. Frage 6. In deiner Freizeit ziehst du es vor, allein zu entspannen, zum Beispiel beim Musik hören oder beim Modellbau, an politischen Versammlungen teilzunehmen und dich für das einzusetzen, woran du glaubst, deine Kinder bei den Hobbys zu unterstützen, zu fördern, dich im örtlichen Sportverein zu engagieren. Ja, fördern, komm. Frage 7. So würdest du deinen perfekten Urlaub verbringen, inmitten der Schönheit der Natur, wo du dich von den Strapazen des Alltags erholst, mit der Erkundung des Unbekannten, neue Erfahrungen zu sammeln und Herausforderungen zu bestehen, bei einem strukturierten Tagesausflug in den Vergnügungspark mit Spaß und Nervenkitzel für dich und deine Familie, bei einem romantischen Wochenende zu zweit in einem tropischen Inselparadies. Ach, hier kommt. Sind aber viele Fragen. Frage 8. Die wichtigste Aufgabe der Regierung ist es, den Bewohnern Folgendes zu garantieren: Sicherheit, Freiheit, Zufriedenheit, Gleichheit. Freiheit. Vielen Dank für deine Mitarbeit. Wir von Advanced wissen, wie wertvoll deine Zeit ist und bedanken uns für deine Mithilfe dabei, die Nation in eine lichte Zukunft zu führen. Bitte unterschreiben. Tag 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Eine Familienangelegenheit. Es ist spät. Sam und die Kinder liegen schon im Bett. Du trocknest noch eben eine alte Lieblingstasse ab. Eine abgegriffene Erinnerung an euren ersten gemeinsamen Ausflug. Der Aufdruck darauf ist verblasst, aber die alberne Grimasse bringt dich immer noch zum Lachen. Ein Klopfen am Fenster holt dich zurück, ne? Im Garten steht Chris, Sams Geschwisterchen, in der Hand einen knalligen neongrünen Koffer. Kaum im Haus nimmt Chris sofort am Küchentisch Platz, richtig gestresst. Tut mir leid, dass ich spät hier reinplatze, Alex, stammelt Chris. Aber ich brauche einen Gefallen und ich kann mich an niemanden sonst wenden. Ist alles in Ordnung? Soll ich Sam holen? Nein, ist nicht nötig, Sam damit zu belästigen. Ich wollte mit dir reden, ich brauche nur 2 Minuten. Du hast doch vom Kapital- und Vermögensgesetz gehört, oder? Wie du weißt, bin ich im Nachrichtenmüster, Chris. Nicht wirklich, das ist mir wohl entgangen. Ist mir entgangen. Chris verzieht das Gesicht. Die holen sich das sauer verdiente Geld der Leute, um es den Schmarotzern in den Arsch zu schieben. Ich sage ja nicht, dass dem obersten Prozent nicht der Kies aus den Ohren quillt, fügt Chris hastig zu. Die können sich's leisten, aber Leute wie ich, wir werden alles verlieren und deswegen bin ich hier. Okay, also was genau brauchst du von mir? Warum habe ich das Gefühl, dass mir das nicht gefallen wird? Also warte mal, wir sind ja lieb. Chris hält den Blick fest auf die Bodenfliesen geheftet. Hör zu, ich weiß, es ist viel verlangt, aber du musst mir deinen Reisepass leihen. Mein Reisepass, wozu? Warum? Meinen haben sie mir abgenommen, so wie fast jedem zweiten im ganzen verdammten Land, aber es sagen doch immer alle, wie ähnlich wir beide uns sehen. Also Chris läuft nervös auf und ab. Ich muss weg, bevor es zu spät ist. Erst dann ist mein Geld in Sicherheit und ich auch, aber es muss sofort passieren, bevor sie meine Konten einfrieren. Bitte, ich würde nicht fragen, wenn ich eine andere Wahl hätte. Es muss ja eine andere Lösung geben, so schlimm kann es doch nicht sein. Chris starrt sich mit auf den Mund an. Willst du mich verarschen? Ich habe immer zu dir und Sam gehalten. Ich habe eure Kinder behandelt, als wären es meine eigenen. Wir sind eine Familie. Bedeutet das etwa gar nichts? Ich schwör, es stößt gegen das Gesetz. Ich kann nicht. Ich weiß nicht. Ach, schön. Ich hole meinen Reisepass. Du erklimmst leise Treppe zum Schlafzimmer, um niemanden zu wecken. Sam hat sich in eine Bettdecke gewickelt, wie üblich, wenn du später zu Bett gehst. Du öffnest den Kleiderschrank und schließt den Safe auf und nimmst den Reisepass heraus. Eine schläfrige Stimme durchbricht die Stille. Alex, was machst du da? Ich, Schatz, alles gut, schlaf weiter. Ach, ich sag's dir, Chris ist unten und braucht meinen Reisepass. Sam richtet sich kerzengerade auf. An Schlaf ist nicht mehr zu denken. Was? Um das Land zu verlassen? Steht es wirklich so schlimm? Anscheinend, aber außer Landes hat Chris nichts zu befürchten. Dafür ist allerdings mein Reisepass nötig. Das sagt zumindest Chris, aber ich bin mir nicht sicher. Ich weiß nicht, ob ich wirklich meinen Reisepass hergeben sollte. Okay. Die Sorgenfalten auf Sams Stirn scheinen sich zu glätten. Danke. Wir müssen als Familie zusammenhalten. Und wie ich mein Geschwisterchen Chrissy kenne, ist das alles wahrscheinlich eine ziemliche Überreaktion. Genau. Ich bringe das so schnell nach unten, dann komme ich ins Bett. Es tut mir wirklich leid, ich weiß, wie wichtig dir deine Familie ist, aber ich halte das einfach für keine gute Idee. Ach komm hier. Du schließt den Safe und gehst wieder nach unten, wo Chris nervös zappelnd am Tisch wartet. Bei deinem Eintreten springt Chris sofort auf. Und, hast du ihn? Ja, komm. Ich wünsche dir viel Glück. Zum ersten Mal lächelt Chris. Es ist ansteckend. Danke. Ich weiß es zu schätzen. Ich melde mich, sobald ich das Land verlassen habe und in Sicherheit bin. Chris nimmt den Reisepass, atmet erleichtert auf und verschwindet mit dem nahezu fluoreszierenden Koffer in die Nacht. Du gehst zu Bett, in der Hoffnung, dir einen Teil der Bettdecke schnappen zu können, ohne Sam zu wecken. Oh, ich glaube, das gibt Ärger. Die Auswirkung.
It's Dave! Oh, Christ, it's noisy in here, Jesus. Right, hang on, let me just get out some flags, darling. Yeah, I'll take that one with me. Cheers. Right, that's better. Let's get set up and get on with it, eh, so I can get back to my guests. First of all, let's get the power on. You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on. Right, let's load up the adverts.
Achso, die AdWords.
You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they?
Sollen wir spielen? Ist dieses Spielzeug sicher? Ach komm. Advanced Tatmenschen. Der verrückte Neil. Vorstellen des Jugendteams der Advanced Tatmenschen. Ach komm, hier. So. Okay.
Right, you can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again. And the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These 2 buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them. And they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine. And you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fine before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully. And we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
Finally tonight,
Is this
at 10
Janet who
p.m.,
thinks dogs
it's a
have
bit
their
of
own
escapism
secret language?
with Lawrence
Yeah, the one that
Fletcher's
mistrust the
acclaimed
moon.
action movie,
10 seconds,
Bullet
everybody.
Man,
Not the best
taking us
source
up
of
to the
consumer
National Weather
advice, then.
Report and
Don't blame
close
me when it
down.
explodes.
Okay.
Going in 5,
But
4,
before all that,
3.
it's time to go over to Jeremy Donaldson for tonight's National Night
Good evening,
News.
I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future may hold with a leading ecologist and radical freethinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of
Okay, ich hoffe, ich habe richtig entschieden,
the
ja?
vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guests if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington's appointment is a risk for the giant mega corporation. Sophia, as our regular viewers will be aware, has always been a wild child and has been romantically linked to several movie stars and
Habe ich jetzt
sports
richtig...
personalities. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehouse. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety, making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong, a marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg and Morgansford,
Ich weiß nicht, welche Auswirkungen das hat.
The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. Many were surprised that two scientists who've shared a fractious rivalry for many years decided to undertake this expedition in each other's company.
Oh Gott, Rivalen. Oh mein Gott.
In which they opine, geniuses don't have to like each other.
Ich hätte mal bleiben sollen.
Playing the fields. Rumours about does sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Hush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. And judging from the angle and velocity of that spray, it looks like Johnny must have been celebrating.
Ach, die spricht das, was ich auswähle.
I certainly wouldn't want to be his strike leader. And Griever's bodily charm. With advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective, with more and more powers passing to the police, and less oversight. Are we using an advanced-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut? All that, and Megan Wolf with a group of young actors
Oh Gott, jetzt.
experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand.
Okay, ich muss gleich wieder umschalten.
And performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National National.
Jetzt wird spannend. Was passiert jetzt da? Oh.
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about advances first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they passed. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I
Katie
don't.
Brightman,
No.
do you agree?
I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. We're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan.
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd. Ignorant, sterile, and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet.
Muss man das echt so live machen?
If you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is
shamelessly self-promoting. Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable. And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking
out of the wrong orifices.
Mock me all you like, Jeremy.
Ich weiß gar nicht, was ich anwählen soll.
They poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing. You'll be laughing then.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to
Ach,
happen.
das ist ein Verschwörungstheoretiker da auf der anderen Seite.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier, and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Okay.
What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts. Katie, what are your
Was?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research in the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and opiates. Frankenscience and opiates. Like opiates. See?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals, pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these
Das ist so
changes.
krass, das muss in einer Szene gemacht
If
werden, ja?
advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan. What does the future look like to you, Alan?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
Of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
Ich hoffe, ich habe das richtig gewählt.
You know, I think they might do some good.
Okay, jetzt hören wir leider das nicht mehr hier.
How's it going, actually? Fuck it, I don't care. I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune, though. All right, mate, see you later, bye!
I don't know what she meant by that.
Hier drüben gibt's ab. Okay, was soll ich jetzt machen? War's das jetzt schon? Segmentbewertung A. Okay, geht gleich wieder weiter.
10 seconds, everybody. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory? Can you hear me?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Ich habe nicht aufgepasst.
Done at a systemic level to relieve the problem. We need more support from ministers. We need more support from ministers. What are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Good time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Never is it? Just hang on. Just hang on. The problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. Just Jeremy Thomas.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving?
Yes, totally understand. Yes. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I'm sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without
Oops.
or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy.
Ich bin auf falschen Kanal gelandet.
Down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible. Leviticus clearly states that...
Oh.
Hang on a moment. Jeremy...
Was ist da hinten los?
Delia? Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
I'm sorry, darling. I was spitting the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put it back in his box?
And whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people of this... hold on just a moment. Clive, I am not having this again. As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there. Really locking down the police's position on morality.
I spoke to Mallory at the...
It's time to get to the heart.
Mallory at the bridge.
It's time to get to the Tony Dorster has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary, and menacing a squad.
Der ist so leise.
Which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony. Many happy returns.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Titwank, Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank, Tony. Tony. Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalisation, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank, Tony. Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank, Tony. I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez. Yeah, I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris, Little Chris, and Vampire Chris. One sec, love. Titwank Tony's on the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. It's just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this now?
You are joking. Chrissy Free Bollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal here, Tony.
Way, Las Bolitas!
Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes? Tony? Tony, I mean, we're literally away for 2 seconds. How has this happened, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to gain a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. After the break, Megan will be live with some plucky thespians. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
Ich hoffe, ihr habt die Werbung richtig laufen lassen. Oh Gott, das ist ja der. Bewertung E, das war aber nicht gut.
You won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip. When the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I music. Oh, I'm so pissed. I think I might go and throw up in a bit.
Ich habe keine Ahnung, was gerade gelaufen ist hier. Es geht gleich wieder los hier. Okay, auf 2.
Welcome's back. I'm Megan Wolf, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Switch for Sixth Form College, who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest. I'm the older, more popular one.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off.
Ja, ich wechsle doch.
Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Oh, right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
It's theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history. Aristotle.
I just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
Yes. We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
And teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
That's right. Put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like maybe she's you, Megan.
That's really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, coach.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, coach.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. Get ready, I can't wait to see it. That's it. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about grant?
2 days ago, a letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
Wow, how did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then, Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic, mainly. But we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go with this whole democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey.
War irgendwas verkehrt wieder.
Dear Diary. Dear Diary. I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears. Another day of tears. Another day of fears. Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi Gary.
Oh heavens no! It's Gary the Fist. Oh heavens no!
Gary the Fist.
Going somewhere, little first year.
Great! I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning, but will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. It's my favourite subject. So important.
Maths is for losers. What? Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck.
Just keep going for fuck's sake.
Right.
Just keep going for fuck's
Maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money.
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I eat it? Why am I only truly happy when I eat it?
Not today, Gary the Fist. Not today.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? What do you mean not today? My own free coat. Brilliant, keep going. Right. Who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist. And you're just a sad little girl with two gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. That's where you're wrong. These are my two new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team. Yeah. And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
But I can't fight all three of you. And I don't have any friends of my own.
Tja.
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me. Or you could be me. Life can be peachy.
Was ist das hier?
If you work as a team.
It's my choice to be mean.
Ah.
So stop now, make a different choice.
War zu schnell.
Hey, listen up, I won't take no crap. Who says middle class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of your cruel laps. I'm a mother-loving rebel, but I still love maths.
Hey, kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think folks like me probably shouldn't exist, but that's just prejudice. And I
Okay, ich glaube, ich hab was.
knew the way that I became Gary the Fist.
Schön im Takt.
I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum for dinner. He had to wait. Oh, where's my dinner?
It's not ready.
Oh, where's my dinner? Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong. Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 Life's pretty hard on a council estate.
Schön im Takt, da funktioniert.
Yeah.
Just work as a team. It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship!
Yes,
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Hui.
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but it make it so.
I have a similar belief about adequate plane check.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
Okay, Übertragung abgeschlossen. So schlecht ist es nicht gelaufen zum Ende. Alter. Hier habe ich es aber richtig versaut. Naja, durch die Zensur, ne? Grottenschlechte Zensur, zu viele Störsignale. Der Schnitt war fürchterlich. Schlampiger Schnitt zur Werbung. Ja, na, das war super. Aber das hier, eieiei. Aber hier haben wir aber... Was, da war Zensur bei? Aber immerhin B.
Hello, mate. I see they've got the store back. That's great. I love fucking shopping. Sorry. It's a bit of a big night, to be honest. Anyway, over here here, that's how much money you've got. You'll get more money the better the broadcast you do. These tabs take you to the bits and pieces and sections of the store. You can fix stuff, you can upgrade stuff, or you can just buy really cool stuff to put around the studio. Right, mate, and the final thing you've got to know, if you want to buy something, you just click on it and it go ka-ching. But there's no refunds. No refunds, so take care, make sensible decisions. Don't be like that.
Okay, wir können dann dementsprechend mit den Sachen, die wir hier bekommen haben, Dinge einkaufen. Okay. Lautsprechermotor. Das ist ein bisschen teuer hier, das habe ich nicht, das Geld. Hier können wir für die Wände Spaß bei der Arbeit. Ach komm, das ist ja eh bloß ein Test. Wir kaufen mal was. Ah nee, hier sind die anderen.
All that and Megan Wolf with a group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Seconds back, everybody. Can we get the guests in quickly, please?
We actually had to make the book indestructible because people tried to set it on fire too much. It's like
Thanks for
they were having
coming
these bonfires.
Thanks
in
for
town
having me.
centres, but Alan James, no doubt you've read my stuff.
I try not to, if I'm honest.
Behave.
You're not the boss of
I
me.
literally am. 10 seconds, everybody. We're going in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting? Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't
And
what
this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, who will be laughing then?
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and opiarts. Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
No, of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them, then?
Oh, shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately, I can't understand it for you.
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
Was war das hier?
Well, where is he?
Ah, das war das.
Look, it's all right. I've got this. I'm sure he's on his way. Come on, it's welcome back. How hard can it be? This is on you. 10 seconds, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to open on Megan. Camera 2. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome's Black, I'm Megan Wolfe, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College, who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two.
So. Pass mal auf, ich mache nämlich jetzt mal Folgendes. Das soll als Einblick erstmal genügen sowieso nicht, aber ein kurzes Feedback an der Stelle, bevor ich dann hier erstmal die Aufnahme und den Stream beende. Ne? Es ist ein sehr interessantes Spiel und es ist ein sehr hektisches Spiel, auch wenn es für den geneigten Betrachter nicht so vorkommen sollte. Hektisch insofern, weil man die ganze Zeit aufpassen muss, die Kamera switchen muss, gegebenenfalls rausblieben. Und das sind alles so eine Sachen, die mögen zwar nicht aufwendig erscheinen, aber man muss sich tierisch konzentrieren und bekommt eigentlich gar nicht mit, worum es eigentlich da geht gerade. Also inhaltlich. Und ich kann mir sehr gut vorstellen, dass es auch wirklich so ist, dass man das gar nicht mitbekommt, was inhaltlich irgendwo gerade passiert, sondern man macht einfach seine Arbeit und das, was man an Vorgaben bekommt. Ne? Drückt Knöpfe, schaltet die Kameras um. Natürlich wird noch einiges mehr passieren. Man hat es ja schon gesehen bei den Optionen, die wir hätten kaufen können, dass man gegebenenfalls irgendwas kühlen muss, Ventilatoren anstellen, also dass noch Ablenkung nebenbei erfolgt und man trotz der Ablenkung seine Arbeit machen muss, was sich geschichtlich dann daraus entwickeln wird und wie es weitergehen wird, weil wir haben ja unseren Pass abgegeben und so weiter. Ne? Bin ich mal sehr gespannt. Mir gefällt es sehr gut und ich bin gespannt, wie es in den nächsten Updates sich weiterentwickelt. Es ist im Early Access, ich muss mal gerade gucken, kleinen Moment, im Early Access gerade für 11,24 € zu haben, sonst 12 € ein paar Krumme, 12,49 €. Ich denke mal, das ist ein sehr, sehr guter Preis, schon allein, wenn man sieht, was da an Aufwand in den Videos und in den Aufnahmen gesteckt wurde, die alle in einem Take gedreht werden. Da gibt es keine Unterbrechung, die sind alle in einem einzelnen Take. Und das finde ich bemerkenswert. Das finde ich wirklich, wirklich, wirklich bemerkenswert, weil stellenweise sind das Sachen, die schauspielerisch sehr gut umgesetzt sind. Die Szene hier zum Beispiel, ja. Oder eben derartig lustig sind, dass ich mich frage, wie die Leute überhaupt ruhig bleiben konnten, ohne zu lachen. Ja? Also wirklich, wirklich Hut ab, ne? Hochachtung dafür. Wir werden es öfter spielen. Bin ich mir ziemlich sicher. Es bleibt definitiv im Installiert-Bereich, ne, von Steam. Und immer wenn es ein Update kommt, werde ich es weiterspielen. Also wir haben mindestens noch einen Tag, also drei Kapitel gibt es ja, die derzeitig zu spielen sind. Mal gucken, vielleicht beim nächsten Mal so als kleiner Lückenfüller. Wir wissen ja jetzt im Groben und Ganzen, was wir tun dürfen müssen, sollen. Ne? Und ja, ich hoffe, es hat gefallen. Ja, ich hoffe, es hat gefallen. Und wir sehen uns dann alsbald wieder. Würde mich freuen. Bis dahin, euer